Hey guys, welcome to Cammy's Corner. On this episode, you will be joined by Sinead and myself, and you have got so much to look forward to. But the main thing that I want you guys to take away is that there's nothing that you can do without the Lord, okay? And that in Him, you will find your voice. And it's just a great episode. I love this girl, and you'll see how much I love her in this episode. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, hello, and welcome to Cammy's Corner. We're finally here, it's finally happening. Grab a chair, get cozy, get comfy, because we are about to go deep. The vision for this podcast is that we will go on a journey together. Okay, we're gonna go on a journey and we're gonna find our voice. That's what we're doing. We're finding our voice. And how we're gonna do that is that we're gonna have some people come over, some of my friends, people that I respect, people I look up to, and in different fields of life. And we're just gonna come together and we're gonna have some conversations about what finding their voice looked like and how they can help you, how they can help me, how we can help each other find our voices together. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this for so long. So let's get into it. And we're gonna start with I absolutely love this person with my whole heart. And when I was thinking about this podcast, she was the first person that I wanted to come onto the show. I adore her. She has been a friend. She has been a mentor. She is definitely someone I look up to. And it's funny how we became friends because we used to see each other around. And she came up to me this one time and she was like, listen, I want you to be one of my people. And basically our pastor had said that we needed, she was in the core team. We're both in the core team now. But our pastor had said that she needs to find someone that she's going to speak life into. And she chose me. And our friendship just kind of built from there. So without further ado, I would love to welcome Sinead Oluwayose! Sinead, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you for being here.
You have to introduce me in every place I go to now.
No, I will. I will. Every single time. I will roll the red carpet. I'll be like, let's go. Let me tell you about Sinead. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You good?
How are you? I'm so excited for you, man. This
Thank
is an amazing adventure.
It's finally happening.
Yeah.
It's finally happening. Okay, so first question.
Ooh.
No, it's gonna be easy.
Okay.
It's gonna be a cute question.
I like that.
Tell me, give me a highlight of the week that we've just had.
Highlight of the week.
Yeah.
So I just came back from holiday and
Tell them where you went.
I went to the Philippines. I have a Filipino friend and she took me around her hometown. Went to a lot of family functions. It was really nice. It was just beautiful country, lovely people. So go to the Philippines, guys. And it's cheap, man. They will expand your waistline, but they give you good food.
Wait. Tell them the story that you told us earlier about how low the.
Oh yeah. So in the Philippines, they love their big buildings. The buildings are massive, but for some, obviously, people saw me and they were surprised. They were like, she's black, but she's tall. So obviously I'm not standing, but I'm 5'11", 5'10".
She's a tall beauty.
I'm a tall girl. And we so obviously there's these grand buildings, but the door frames are so low for some of these places. So there's a place that it's my friend's house, and I had to keep leaving, but I whacked my head off this door frame that I knew to duck every time. The rest of the day my head was pounding, but it's okay. It's okay. I made it through.
You made it. You made it.
Yeah.
I will personally never know how that feels.
Yeah.
I thought I was tall.
No, but when you go to the Philippines,
yeah,
you'll know that you're tall.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you're tall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to go to the Philippines
You
then.
need to go to the Philippines.
Okay, so highlights of your week. Let's go back there.
Yes. So obviously came back from holiday and I was drunk, tired, because long flight, 8-hour difference. But I kind of spent some time in my brother's house, and my nieces just came, and they're like, Auntie Sinead, and they were just so excited for every little detail that I was telling about my holiday. They hung on to my every word. So I was just like, listen.
That's a highlight.
Exactly. That's the power of being an auntie.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So like the vision that I had for this podcast, I think you have a really powerful testimony. And I just kind of I wanted us to speak about what it looks like to find our voice with God, and how it looks like sometimes when we find our voice without God. Because I think you are naturally just such a like bubbly and like bright and just gorgeous person to encounter. But like when I heard your testimony and you were like, yeah, I did not speak, and like my teachers used to tell me to speak more, like I was like, sorry, what? But like you mentioned, like you spoke about how like God helped you with that, and God helped you like become your true self. And so I kind of wanted us to like unpack that and like unpick it, have you share a bit of your testimony, and then as well like just kind of go into like what it looks like to find your voice with God, like the struggles that come with it, like the pain that comes with it, but also the joy that comes with it. So yeah.
Okay. I'll try to keep everything in, but if I don't, ask me the question after again. But I think before kind of sharing my story, I'd say one thing that I've like learned this week is that like God called me out this week. He was just like, Sinead, like you are operating on the surface level of what your joy could truly be.
Ooh, okay.
And what your love can truly be. And I think that a lot of times like life kind of hardens us, and like it's hardened me, because when God said that, I was just like, no way you want me to be more joyful and loving.
I'm not gonna do that.
The world's gonna eat me up, God. I can't do it. No. But I think that's just a testament to how we're always gonna be on this journey and stuff like that, and it's a testament to like what glory God still has yet in my journey. So like I kind of love how when you were kind of introducing my testimony right now, you said that I'm naturally joyful and bubbly, because that is the truth. I'm naturally, like when I was young, I always said that like I had infinite energy. And like I was always bouncing around, like always had, like everybody's ready to sleep. I'm wide awake, like trying to corral everybody. And I'm always had this like strong sense of justice. I wasn't no snitch. But like I was definitely like, if like
that's
my sister was being mean to my brother, I was just like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. But life. Like I don't think that like my parents being immigrants to the country, and there's a lot of kind of darkness that they've had to carry. Meant that light was like squandered and like down. Exactly. It was very much like, we don't do that here. We don't care about this, because they're busy trying to make a living. They're busy trying to survive in this country. And well, I was born in Ireland, but that's why there's a company of accents. So just there's a little context.
Do you know what? I genuinely feel like when it comes to accents, you pick it up like through so many things. You know what I mean? Like it could be from TV. It could be from, because sometimes people will be like, I'm American. I'm like, sorry.
Where?
I'm from South Africa. I am from South Africa. So
but there's certain times where your South African comes in more.
Yeah, no, it's like certain words.
Yeah.
Like when I say 30, people are like, anyway.
But like in certain moods as well.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, I kind of got this sense that like people didn't like it when I was bubbly. People didn't like it when I was being caring, because it's just like, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And like in Nigeria especially, it's not common for people to be like, oh, I'll give you this and I'll give you that. And it's like, you have nothing. And it's like, I don't really care. I just want you to have this. And like my parents always, obviously being immigrants, they didn't have like a community and a network. They were always like, trust no one, have your own back, because nobody will have your back for you. So that kind of really made me depressed. It made me go in on myself. And like, I grew up in a semi-Christian household. Like my parents kind of used the Bible whenever it was
convenient.
Oh yeah. Honor your mother and father so that your days may be long.
Yeah. But all the other ones?
All the other ones, like, no. So it's like I knew that there was a God, but I didn't really understand
Yeah.
God as a concept. I knew that okay, this world didn't come about to get by itself. It's God made the world, and now He's just asleep somewhere. That was my understanding of God. So I was going through my teenage years and maximum angst. Maximum angst. I was very moody. I was very much like nobody talked to me. And so I went to school in Nigeria because that's what my parents wanted me to experience. And going away for a year made it hard coming back because then was when my childhood lenses really broke, because now I realized, oh, this isn't actually how homes are supposed to be. This isn't actually how families are supposed to be. This is not how parents are supposed to be. And like,
can I ask what made you have that like distinction, or made you see it like that? What was different between you being in Nigeria and you being here that made you see that more?
So I was like in boarding school, and they'll always say that you cover your house and your family with grace, because as a kid you need to survive. You can't be in a house that's toxic, because you will that means you can't survive. So in your head it's about you. You're the one who's not enough. So my light started dimming as a child, because I was just like, oh, I'm not doing enough, and I was putting the pressure on myself. But then going to school in Nigeria, I'm around only people in secondary school. So, and like the people are from the ages of 11 to 16. So they're telling me about their families, and I always thought, oh, my family's just a typical Nigerian family, even though like I won't relate to Irish kids and how their families run. I'll relate to Nigerian kids. And when they were speaking about their experiences, I'm like, this is a bit different from mine, but actually I can't really remember. So when I go home, I'm sure I'm going to experience what they're experiencing. And I did go home and I didn't experience that. It was much more volatile emotionally, and like just a lot of a lot of messiness. And like I always say, like, I never knew that drinking socially was a norm. Like, I thought that people always drank all the time. Because I saw a lot of the darkness and all the things that they were doing. And I was just like, oh, I'm never touching that. I'm never touching that. So I didn't drink, not because I was Christian, I was following God. I didn't drink because I didn't want to end up like them.
Parents, okay.
So I was like avoiding a lot of things like the plague. And, whilst also trying to navigate all these feelings, because I was feeling this deep pain, because I was just like, why is it that my house is so dark? Why it doesn't feel like there's a safe space for me in this world. Meanwhile, there was so my grandma came to live with us for a little bit before I went to school in Nigeria. And there was a point in time when I used to be scared of leaving the house, because I watched a lot of CSI. It wasn't like an auntie put it on for me.
I know, but like...
And up until then, I'm telling you, I'm so naive. I'm like, oh, if I do good, good will happen. If I do bad, bad will happen. And like we have the don't talk to strangers, don't do this, don't do that. In all the episodes I watched, they didn't talk to strangers.
Yeah,
they did the right thing.
Yeah,
they did everything right, but they got kidnapped. They got chopped into pieces, and I was just like, the world is a scary place. I don't want to leave my house.
I don't want to go there.
No. So then my grandma gave me this rosary. I always wear it. And it glows in the dark. And it's it is so cute. And everybody always sees me and they're like, are you Catholic? And I'm like, no but
at least it's like a conversation
starter. It's a conversation
you
starter.
You always be like, no, but let me tell you
what happened. Yeah. But she's like, God is always with you, or remind you that that's the case. So I remember going home one day, it was dark and I was really scared, and I remembered God is always with me, because it was glowing in the dark. It was pitch black in this street. My mum forgot to pick me up, and it was like 9 p.m. It was a country road in Ireland. Oh, you gonna get picked up by anybody. No street lights.
No, listen.
It's over.
Listen, the country.
Yeah, no.
The country is. Listen.
It's about here.
When I lived in the country for a little bit, I was like, am I am I in the wrong country? Did I make a mistake?
Nah.
Because it gets dark.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna compare Irish countryside to South African countryside.
No. Here, it was here
Oh,
in the
here.
UK. No, South Africa adds even more. But
Yeah.
here in the UK, like, because I lived in Todmorden.
Ain't nobody know where that is.
Still to this day, people are like, sorry.
Who that?
Anyway, go.
I just prayed and I felt this overwhelming sense of peace. I've never experienced anything like that before. So I was just like, who is this God character?
Who is this?
Like, what is, it doesn't seem like you're asleep if you can help me in the middle of that. So, as you said, in secondary school, I got a lot of reports back from my teachers. Sinead's okay student. Like, she does her work, but like, she's just like, I remember it. And he's such a nice teacher. She'd always like be so kind to me. And she wrote, I wish you would smile more. And I was just like, say this to my face. Let's go, teacher, because I never got this energy from you in person.
It's so I get, like, the reason why it's so funny is like, if you knew Sinead now, the thought of her not smiling is like, it's foreign, like so foreign.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Like Sinead is the type, like she's smiling to herself. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, if you see her on the bus sometimes, they look ridiculous.
she's like smiling to herself. And so for her teacher to be like, she doesn't smile. Sorry?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I actually remember, like, and this is just what I heard, but like, I was walking with my friend and in secondary school, and someone's chatting with my friend, and they were like, what's up with her? She like, why is she, I've never seen her smile.
No.
And like, I go through days and I was just like, the whole day I was just like, and I genuinely felt empty. It wasn't that, oh, you know, some people are just resting face. Like, it wasn't that. It was, I just didn't feel happiness inside me. And I was just like, what is there to smile about? What is there to be happy about? Like, life felt too much for me. And there was a point in which I didn't really want to live anymore. And I still to this day don't know if it was God, but I'm going to say it was God because it was what kept me on this earth. And it was like,
I feel like hindsight as well.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I did not know the voice of God at all. No examples, didn't go to church and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. But for now, I'm going to say it is. And said, if you go, who's going to take care of your brother? Because life in the house was hard for me because I was the rebel. Because I didn't really, like, I asked a lot of questions and I didn't, like, if I didn't want to, I wasn't going to do something. But my brother also had it, like, worse. And that's, like, so I was like, if I'm gone, what will he do? And that's when I started saying, okay, I decided if I'm going to live to protect my brother. And I did everything I could to try and be a better person so that, like, if I'm mentally better, then he can be mentally better. I can only give him what I have.
That's such, like, big responsibility to put on yourself.
And it crushed me. Because I did it without God. So it crushed me.
Can we talk about how hard and crushing things are when we do them without God?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's, like, one of the things that makes, like, finding your voice, like, finding your journey so hard, because we want to do it on our own.
Yes.
And God's like, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm literally here.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Let's go.
And it's not like, oh, I'm right here, like, your friend is saying you're right here. Because your friend is saying you're right here, and they're well-intentioned, well-meaning, but you don't know if they can handle it.
Yeah.
It's
like,
God.
He can handle it.
He can handle it.
Like,
He done been handling it.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's like,
been carrying you.
do you know what? Like, and I find it so funny. It's like, let's get the example of Abram, one of the heroes of faith. And he goes with Sarah. I don't know if she was Sarai at the time, but he says to her, don't tell him I'm your husband. And then God is like, don't do that again. Right?
Yeah.
And he does it again.
Yeah.
And God is already proven to be faithful the first time. But you still did it again, bro? Like,
again.
But this is our human nature.
Yeah.
We are so forgetful of the sufficiency of God. He's enough.
Yeah.
He is enough. And I feel like, when you grasp that lesson to a degree, the way you walk It's like
different.
the way you walk.
It's different because I feel like I always have this humbling moment of like, I will be trying to carry everything, trying to strive. Like Sinead has this phrase, guys. It's shadow boxing. Sinead's like, why are you shadow boxing? Why are you fighting with yourself?
Yeah.
Give it to God.
Yeah.
Give it to Him.
Yeah.
So like, I'll be shadow boxing. I'll be striving. I'll be carrying everything.
Yeah.
And then you always have that moment where you reach your limit.
Yeah.
Like you reach your capacity.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, like I actually can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's always so humbling because the peace and like the release that you feel,
Yeah.
like you know that prayer,
Yeah.
and I want it to be a thing, and my prayer is that I don't wait to get to that point, but I constantly pray and release things to Him so that I don't have to like wait to feel that release and feel that peace, because there's space for me to feel it in the everyday, but I'm just not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like it's just that like release of like, oh God, thank you, like you got this, like I can actually sleep.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Like when you can actually tag Him in and be like, okay, I'm dating myself. Yeah.
You're it. Let's go.
Ooh, got a verse for that later. But we'll get there. Where was I?
You were talking about how you stayed.
My brother.
Stayed for your brother.
Yes.
And the responsibility of that.
Exactly. So I was learning more about psychology because that's what I got really interested in. I was also learning a bit more about God. There wasn't much resources in Ireland.
Yeah.
So I decided when I go to university, I'm going to seek God with my whole heart. Right? Went to university and I was seeking Him, but I think there was always a limitation because I still didn't understand the nature of what our relationship should be like with God. I always thought He is the all-powerful, all-knowing one, so we are just His subjects, right? We are under the whims and influences of God, and all we need to do is just like he's to be understood, but He's not to be known personally, right? And I didn't think that was just a possibility. I didn't think about that. I was just like, He is God all the way up there.
God up there, yeah.
He will do sometimes what you pray for. He doesn't do it sometimes, and you just have to go with the flow, right?
No, sorry. I was just like, that feels so unstable to,
Yeah.
But I feel like that's most people's like understanding of God in the
100%.
beginning. It's like this thing in the sky, and you're like, you really there?
Yeah.
Do you really? And I think that's like the whole thing of like doubt and like how the enemy was like when he came to Eve and was like, did God really say?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like just that constant continuation of like doubting God and doubting like, are you really there? Like, do you really care? And I feel like that's always like the biggest stumbling block for most people who are trying to understand God, because it's the famous question of, if God is good, why do all these bad things happen? If God is this, why does this happen? And it's like, He gave us free will. Yeah. And people are naturally just broken. Yeah. But He's still sovereign. Yeah. And He can still work it for your good. Yeah. It might take longer. Yeah. It might be painful, but He's working it. Yeah. And I feel like it's just so like, it's just difficult. Because I feel, not like I feel, but like in my mind, I'm like thinking of little Sinead, like thinking those things and feeling those things of like, well, maybe sometimes He's answering, but sometimes He's not. Like, that's sad, you know what I mean? And that's like a lot of people's experiences.
And obviously, because we're on the topic, like, I actually want to bring this up, which is, I remember early on in my actual walk with God, because I think I would say that my walk with God started in 2020 and I started university in 2018. And I was seeking God then, but I didn't know who He was, as I said. But when I started in 2020, like in 2021, I remember walking to do like some school program with church, and I remember thinking, God, because my childhood and the early part of my life was hard, the rest of it has to be easy. That's just how it works. This isn't a bargain or a negotiation. You could tell I had a relationship with him then, because I want me to say that audacious. But I said,
Oh, we be brazy.
oh yeah,
Brazy.
oh yeah. And I remember him saying, if your life was to be 10 times harder for the rest of your life, I would still be good and merciful.
Wow.
And I was just like,
Wow.
come again? Come again? And I feel like he's taught me through the years that his mercy upon my parents' life is him giving them the opportunity every single day to be better and to choose to live life a better way. We praise God, like right now, I feel like they've grown so much in their own different ways. Like I still pray for them and I still want them to really come to this true knowledge and understanding of him. But like none of that comes through me being like, why did you do this to me? Why did you treat me like that? Because at the end of the day, God is still a redeemer. He's still working all things together for our good. And if he wasn't good to them and he just decided to protect me, then we couldn't say he's good, full stop. Like he gave them an opportunity and he's giving me an opportunity now to be like, lay all of that aside. Choose me.
Choose me, yeah.
And I'll just do everything else.
Yeah.
I'll help you find everything and do everything, but you have to first choose me.
Yeah.
So kind of going back to where I was before I got to this whole choose me thing, is that I was trying to find God, trying to go to church, but I was still kind of reserved. I was just like, go in, come out, don't talk to nobody. I was serving somehow, go in, come out, don't talk to nobody, and never let people truly in because I was just scared and I didn't really know that I could be myself. Like I didn't feel like I could. I didn't feel safe, and that is until I hit rock bottom. So
we love a rock bottom.
we do.
I think the more we walk with God, the more we learn that like rock bottom is where he's like, okay.
Yeah, let's go. It's the final countdown.
Literally, like we're coming back.
Yeah.
We're coming back.
Yeah.
That verse of a righteous person falls down 7
Yeah.
times, but they
get up.
One thing's for sure.
We gon' rise.
We gonna rise up.
Yeah.
We gonna rise up.
Yeah.
And like it's also the time where he just strips it all back.
Yeah.
It's like let me tell you about you.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So we can just run it back.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that like, right now I'm like, oh, so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of that. But in the time you're just like,
oh no.
You're like, miss me with that. I don't want to hear it. Don't do that.
The pain of
back up.
Back up. And that like hindsight is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Because you can look back and be like, God, thank you.
Thank you.
Like, God, thank you. Like recently, like leading up to in our church, we have this conference. We can call it conference now, or like a thing, Nights of Fire. She was in the Philippines, so she done missed out. But anyway, it was like, there's no words that I could actually say that could encapsulate what Nights of Fire was. But like before Nights of Fire, I felt like God was taking me back to like just reminding me of all the things that he's done for me. Like I was thinking about promises, and I was going through was it Exodus? No, not Exodus, Genesis. But like God kept like repeating, because I've promised you, because of this, I will do this, I will do this. And it was just so evident like how he was doing it. And then there was a pastor that came the first night of Nights of Fire and literally spoke to what like God was saying to me the week before. And I think it's like to what you're saying, like God is so faithful, and we only see it when we look back, when we look at that, like when we look at the hindsight, like if it was rock bottom, it felt like rock bottom, it was painful, but when you look back and you see the growth, and you see like the changes, and like and you also see like the missed opportunities and how great like what they led to and what they opened to, it's like, God, Thank you.
Thank you.
That's when you remember that, like, no, he really do have, like, he has a plan. Like,
yeah.
And his plan will always prevail.
Yeah.
And it's for my good.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's for my good, but it's for my good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, sorry.
No, don't say sorry. That is such
it's
a, like...
it's so good. Oh, yeah.
Is it actually reminded me of a Bible verse. If
Go
my Bible
on.
decides to
She
load.
is also Pastor Sinead.
Pastor.
She is also the prayer warrior.
Watch what you do. Clay over somebody. Anyways. Intercessor. Amen.
Sinead's just like, amen.
With 2 Timothy 2, and it says, "This is a faithful saying. For if we died with him, we shall also live with him. If we endure, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he will deny us. If we are faithless, he is faithful. He cannot deny himself." And I think that it's in the times where we're like, where are you, God? Like, I can't see you. We feel like, oh, he's abandoned us. He's gone. But the second we come out of it, it's like that whole thing that a person can be wanting to get pregnant for so long, and it might be painful, years and years, trial after trial, looking into all the different options, and nothing's working. The second they see that plus sign, everything, all the time that was gone is just redeemed in a second. And the second that baby comes out, it's like, what years,
like,
what pain, the joy.
Everything was worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I like look back and I feel like I remember when I was on a train and I was almost crying because I was just, it's like I put back on the weight and the pain that I had. And I wasn't crying because of the pain. I was crying because I could live free today because God took off that pain.
Come on.
And when I was going through it, I was thinking, this is the only thing that could ever exist. Like, and there was nothing more than this pain. And there was nothing more that could ever come out of me. Like, I'm limited because of the background, because of what I've experienced in life. That's it. This is the limitation of joy that I can ever have in my life. And it will always go back to this place of deep depression. And God broke the shackles of depression off of me.
Come on.
It was just like, oh, those times were painful, I guess, but it's like, nothing compared to the joy that I can experience today because he relieved me of it. It's like you can never know the joy in abundance if you've never experienced that pain.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love pain now, and it's such a weird thing to say, but I love pain because it's like, oh, God's gonna get glory out of this. Oh, there's something
that's coming out of this.
Exactly, and it's not that, oh, like I always used to be that person who's just like, whenever happiness was here, I'm like, sadness is coming.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, when sadness comes, I'm like, happiness is coming. Because that's just the way life is.
That's true.
Like,
I still need to get there.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Because I think like I'm still at the part of like, I see the hindsight. I see God's faithfulness. I see his promises. But I think sometimes I can be very like, let my emotions reign. Yeah. You know what I mean? And let the pain and like the life circumstances and all these things like cloud my judgment. Yeah. And I think it like goes back to what I was saying, where it's like I wait till the end to when I have zero capacity. But like if I remember his goodness, and if I remember that like joy is that song, joy is coming in the morning. Coming. Oh, that's if I remember that joy is coming in the morning, then I'll be like, no, it's okay. Like, God, you are good, and you are who you say you are. Yeah. And you, like, your word says, wait on me. Yeah. Like, I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Come on. That's what your word says.
I'm pastor. She's minister. She's epistle.
Inside joke. but like if that's what your word says, like I'm learning now. Let me say it like that. I'm learning now to be like, if that's what your word says, I don't feel it right now. Yeah, I'm gonna take you at your word. Yeah, and I feel like that's where my journey has been leading me to. Yeah, to just go back to His word and be like, okay, it doesn't feel like it right now. Yeah. But it's coming. It's coming. Like, it's coming. Yeah. So it's okay.
And like, I'll say, for those who don't know Cami, the watching you go on that journey is so beautiful because it's not only reminding me of my faith, but it's also like just seeing like God is so intentional about every step.
Yeah.
Like you say, I'm a bundle of joy. Cami's a bundle of joy. You go to Cami when you're down because you're like, she gonna take care of you. And a lot of times when she's taking care of you, she's also nursing something within herself. But watching you learn how to give that to God more, there's nothing God cannot do. He is good. And again, I remember we were talking earlier and the verse came back to me. So I was like, let me actually say it, which is 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9 to 10. And this is in the Passion Translation. So more of a, what do they call it? It's not a like direct interpretation, but it's
giving the flair.
It's like giving a flair. But he says, oh yeah, this is when Paul is saying, God, take away this thorn in my flesh. And he's asked God 3 times and he says, but he answered me, and he being God, my grace is always more than enough for you. My power finds its full expression through your weakness. Because I always thought when it says that my grace is sufficient for you, because that's the normal version. My power is made perfect in your weakness. I thought that God was just like purposely saying, give me
weak.
Yeah, like give me that, you know, the hand that you don't arm wrestle well in. Give me that hand and I'll work with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, why are you making us work weak on purpose?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, because we're not omnipresent, omniscience, because we are not all powerful and all knowing and we're not good all the time, we are weak.
Yeah.
The weak,
just
we are
plain.
weak. There's no like, you, like when you fall weak, you're weak. You're weak. You're weak.
If you take anything away from this,
you're weak. Don't take it personal. It's just the Bible. I'm sorry, God. I didn't mean it.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Joking. But it said God says that his power finds its full expression within the weakness that is there.
Yeah.
Because you don't know everything.
Yeah.
So it's as you go on the journey. It always says, God says, walk with me. He doesn't say run to me.
No, he said walk.
I am the fullness. I am more than enough.
Bro.
And I'm with you all the time.
Bro.
So you don't need to, like, I'm not there when you get the house or there when you get this new job, there when
like,
you get
I'm there on the journey too.
I'm the fullness of everything you need right now. You're not waiting for me because sin, all that kind of stuff. It grieves me when you sin, but it's not separating us unless you continue to do it. Anyways. I ain't no theologian. Yeah, anyways.
Just don't sin. Repent. And
what was I saying?
So we were talking about how like
it going in,
walk with you.
Oh yes, walk with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to my testimony. Yes. I would just go in and out of church, didn't really like interact, engage with people, and then I ended up I forgot what I was saying.
You were gonna talk about a moment that happened.
Oh yes, I was down. I was going through it.
Because that's where we. Oh
that's
my God,
where we
were.
Tangent. We went. Anyways, so I was going through it emotionally.
Yeah.
Like I just gone to a job that's crushed my soul. Sales. It's not for the weak, and I am the weak. It was all to help my brother who was going through it in the house, and I was still kind of like devoted to helping him. And we lost my grandma, who's like the main person. Like she was like my mother because she spent the most time with me, and she showed me the first adult who showed me unconditional love. So it was just like stacking, and then I was like losing a lot of connections to the people who mattered the most to me, and I was just really I wasn't able to get out of bed. That was like the lowest I've ever been. And I spoke to my brother and he began to tell me his revelation of God. He explained to me that God isn't just this being in the sky, but he is light and he is love. And his whole grand plan is that all men come to know him. That they become free and they can lay down all of this heaviness and almost badness that they feel compelled to do so that they can pick up their cross to love and obey him, that they can become light too. He is light, and he wants us to be children of light, you know. And God has this plan to like bring us to the fullness of himself.
Yeah.
One of my favorite verses that start being a Christian was First Philippians.
Come on, she knows.
Not
it
First
off by
Philippians.
heart.
Philippians 1 verse 6.
Come on.
It says that I will complete every good work I started in you. And I was just like, so not only is there like this God who wants to have a relationship with us, but he wants to like take us to the fullness of ourselves. He has a plan, like he's walking with us. And that fullness is like this world where we live in peace and harmony. And this is everything that I've ever cared about. I remember my heart being on fire when he told me about this, because I was just like, what? Like, this is who God is?
Yeah.
I wish I could recount the beauty of that testimony, of like his testimony of who God was, but I don't have the spiritual stamina to say it, and we don't have the time, but I say that from then on, I lived like unchained, like, and then I started going to church, and then I was like, okay, let me actually talk to people. and it wasn't like an easy decision. It was like someone talked to me, and then like I felt this calmness from God, like, you can talk to them. They won't hurt you.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Like I can almost see God just standing like on the, you know, when parents like take their kids to the first day of school.
Yeah.
And I can just see him like just be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah.
Go. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was beautiful. And then seeing God, like when I was being joyful, seeing the joy it brought other people. I remember, so I started going to church by joining youth team, and I remember one time they were like, oh, just give it your all in the praise pit. And I got so lost in that give it your all. I was doing the absolute most. So there's a video of that, delete it. I'll find you. It was embarrassing. Like, I was like doing like this across the like road. Somebody come and get their auntie. Anyways. So decorum. It was like the amount of joy I saw around me because I did that. I was just like, oh. So the joy, myself. I can be myself, and I'm safe to be myself.
Yeah.
That it's okay to be me.
I think that's like the nail on the head. Like, it's safe for me to be myself. Yeah. Because I think like many of the reasons why we don't want to be ourselves, or we try like, you know what I mean? Like we try to be something else, or we try to do something else, is because we feel like it's not safe to be ourselves. Yeah. And I feel like God gives you that safety. He gives you that safety, like in relationship with him. But then he sends you people that like just accept you for who you are, and just see you for who, like, he sends you people that see you before you see yourself. Yeah. And like, and it just further gives you that safety of being like I can be myself. Yeah. I can be who you have like called me to be. Yeah. I can dance and make a fool out of myself. Yeah. And no one's gonna care. Yeah. Because everyone else is dancing like a fool. Yeah. Because we're just praising you. Yeah. Like, he really just gives you like this like, okay. Yeah. And I feel like that's what anyway, go on, sorry.
And I genuinely remember like when I was doing things like that, when I was stepping out, I remember just feeling this like burst up in my spirit. Yeah. Do this. Or like, and I just go, yeah, and I'll do it. And I'll be so tunnel vision and focused on doing that all the voices or the sight of other people faded away. It was just like, who's around me? But God, like, he's the one that I want to see and please, you know, like, that's all that mattered to me in the moment. So like, sometimes like, it might feel like, oh, I don't want to be a certain type of person, or I don't want to be that Christian that's doing too much. You know, like you're looking at all of these things and you're thinking all of these things, but then sometimes just looking at God's face and just like seeing him. Like that's how Peter walked on water. He was just looking at God's face.
God, yeah. And I'm sorry, like what that reminded me of, like, was Psalm 27, like where it says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" Like, and what always gets me is like, he is the stronghold of my life. Yeah. He has my whole life. So who should I be afraid? Like, whom shall I fear? Like, why am I fearing? Like, he's holding it all. Like, he's covering everything. He's the light of my life. So why? Why should I fear?
Yeah.
And it's like, we forget that sometimes. Like, we forget that we don't have to. And it's natural because lives and people people like, we love it. But people, man, but like, he is the stronghold of my life. Like, my whole life, he holds everything. Like, going back to that verse, like, he will perfect it, he will finish it, because he knows the plans, because he's holding my life. Like, so why should I be afraid?
Why should I be afraid?
Like that, it just reminded me of that song.
Yeah, don't be sorry. Never be sorry, because that is, honestly, it just bursts. It brings up so much joy inside me, like just remembering God's character.
Okay, so I think to like wrap it all up, right? Because I think we've spoken a lot. And I hope that it helped you see how you could find your voice with the Lord. But like, what would you say is like, what is one final thing that you would be like, listen, if not necessarily if you do this, but if you remember this, or if you think on this, like, this will help you on the journey. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. And I have a verse.
Go on, Miss Verse.
Miss Verse.
Go on.
It's one that I've been like meditating on for a while, because it's just like, I don't know how I found it, but it's just stays in my heart and mind, and I think that it encapsulates a lot of my early work with God, and by God's grace now, which is, He has shown you, oh man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God.
Come on,
that's Micah 6:8. Walking with God is like one of the key things I learned in the last year that is so beneficial. Like, God is everything you need right now. Like, I know a lot of times when we're in droughts, we're in seasons of like confusion, we want to step out, we want to go to a new job, we want to change something in our lives, and we're like, oh, why do I feel stuck? Why do I feel here? Why do I feel low? Why does life feel perpetually painful? And then the sad answer is that you need to die. You to yourself. That you need to walk with God enough that you start fading and fading. You become more humble, and you accept like that He is everything that you need. And it sounds so woolly, but like, it's just learning to let go and to love. That's a gift that will keep on giving.
I think like that's the one, like learning to let go and learning to love. Because I think like in order to let go, like you need to like have love. You need to love God, and you need to like love His word, love His plan, love like, and trust in Him, in order to be like, okay, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna put it in your hand. Because you know. Yes. Let go. That is the
let
one.
Go.
Die.
Let go.
Let go. That's
weak.
it. Repent. But Sinead, like, genuinely, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for being my first guest. Thank you for being my friend, and thank you for just like showing up. Like, I just appreciate you so much. And you know, but like genuinely, I appreciate you so much. And I think you have just a wealth of wisdom, and I think you just have a tank of like an overflowing tank of knowledge, and you're just so like, you show up and you're there for people and you care for people, and like people can feel your love, and like people are loved, like they know that they're loved. Does that make sense? Like you just that's who you are. So I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. And I just hope that you guys got something out of that. I hope that it blessed you. I hope that you come back next time, because I'm going to have another guest and we're going to be talking about something else, and it's going to be great and you don't want to miss it. I've been blessed. I've been blessed immensely. And yeah, I can't wait to see you. I love you guys. See you next time. Bye.